Hello there. Welcome to our series on economic insights with Danielle Hale, Chief Economist at Realtor.com. My name is Audrey Whittington, and today we're going to be talking about rent versus buying. I personally think this is a really hot topic and a really interesting one, and one that most consumers can understand because they're faced with this question.
Absolutely. You got to live somewhere. The question is, are you going to rent or are you going to buy?
Right.
And with this metric, we try to put together some numbers to illustrate how you might face that decision in different counties across the country. So we're looking at the percentage of your income that it takes to buy a home and the percentage of your income that you might spend if you were to rent.
Oh, interesting. So who's compiling this data?
So this is something we produce at Realtor.com. We use our listings data to get information on the buy side of things. So it's a prospective or forward-looking indicator. It's based on active listings, not necessarily things that have sold. And then on the rent side, we get data from the government. The Department of Housing and Urban Development provides rent data that we use.
Oh, interesting. And where are we today? I mean, how are we looking for rent versus buying?
So it depends on your local market, and we track this at the county level, and we may look into doing it in the metro level in the future. But basically, in hot major markets, places like New York and California, you're much better off if you're renting, if you're looking just at the simple monthly cost calculation, which is what we do here.
So it's cheaper to rent.
It's cheaper to rent. Now, there might be other reasons why you might decide to buy anyway, but if you're looking at a simple, straightforward median rent versus buying the median home, you're going to spend less money if you're renting.
Even with mortgage rates low, it would,
Yeah, even with mortgage rates low. And the reason you find that in a lot of those really hot markets like New York and California is because they're strong jobs markets. All of the economic fundamentals that lead to strong housing market are present. So strong job markets, strong local economies, people like to live there, so that tends to keep house prices high and makes it a little bit more difficult for you to get into the housing market, makes it a little more expensive to buy. On the flip side, those markets where it's better to buy tend to be smaller markets, maybe more rural areas. You don't have as many renters, you have a lot more people who are buying, and they tend to have lower home prices, so they're a little bit more affordable, and fewer options for renting, so that tends to make rents relatively expensive, so it's cheaper to buy in those markets. They tend to be in the South and the Midwest.
And it seems like you would really be looking at this in conjunction with maybe the jobs market and things like that, especially on a regional level. So it seems like this one would go really hand in hand with a lot of the other economic indicators we've been talking about in the series.
Absolutely. And I should say, this is a simple dollars and cents calculation, but there are a lot of reasons why you might choose to buy, even if it's cheaper for you to rent. You might start to build up home equity, like we talked about in one of our other videos, because you're paying down your monthly mortgage payment, and it's helpful to have that sort of forced savings plan of making those monthly payments.
Great. Okay, good. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us on this series on economic insights with Danielle Hale, our Chief Economist at Realtor.com. We hope you'll tune into some of the others in the series as well.